This is just an update on the work I'm doing in the chicken pen. I'll be continuing over the winter. So I did have a Paulownia here and a Paulownia here, and I've moved them out of the way. Put one of the Paulownia in here and the other one here. So a lot of the trees and stuff are being bamboos. There's just becoming an extra layer of the hedge. So this is Macrophylla ashii. This, I showed a video on this earlier. See, the leaves are starting to die off. I've moved this back up from here. Now, so I did have the plan, as I've mentioned before, is to take out all this chain link fencing. And then the chain link stopped here, and a sheep wire all across here, which I've since taken out. And I started to take out the fencing, moving up the way now. So there will be a dry stone wall coming in here, in around here, back up the way. So I'm ahead of schedule. I didn't think I'd start this at all until next year, but the weather's been so good that there was no point in wasting the good weather. Some of these sycamore trees, self-seeded, that I removed that are around here, that tree is coming out. This tree will be coming out. The dogs are eating the apples from the Michelin cider apple tree. They're not actually bitter at all. They're actually quite sweet. There's only one left at the top. A little small one here. I haven't added the fruit trees yet. So just a few sycamores to take out. This one here, and this is an old, it's either old bramble or old rose, I'm not too sure. I think it could have been a rose. That'll be coming out. This sycamore here, going right beside the bamboo, close to the Sheffra. I don't want this to be competing, because this is obviously going to grow into, you know, a full-size tree. So the competition I don't want, I can just remove. This is hazel. I definitely didn't. This is definitely not one of mine, and due to its size, you can see it's very young hazel. Tip is about 7 feet there. So when you plant up the trees and stuff, and they actually start just to spread themselves everywhere. I might leave this. This looks like an ash, slip of an ash. Still growing, you can see the tip is green. I'm going to leave that there. Here's another, I think this is sycamore as well. I just cut the top off yesterday. So that's coming out. Yeah, so you don't too much competition, even though you're looking for that canopy effect. I have this oak here which is just going to keep getting bigger. Still retaining its leaves. Right, so I've cleared any of the bramble stumps and those sycamore trees there and burning them off. Into the chicken wire now, or not the chicken wire, the chain link. We're actually going to come down very quickly. This chicken wire, or the chain link, is actually had concrete thrown onto the end of it to stop the dogs and foxes from digging under, which it was very successful. Just thrown in and mixed through the wires, 6-8 inches either side, and the whole thing is done. And there's so much weight on the base there that the dogs or foxes and stuff can't get at it. So I'm just gonna, I won't be digging that out at all. I'll be just cutting this with a little wire cutters all the way across the base. Of course the stone wall will be going back over this, so you're not going to see any of this. Yeah, I'm not going to take this out this winter. It'll probably late spring, because it's going to be providing, it's an evergreen, and it's going to be providing, it does provide protection from winds and such for the plants on both sides. But basically, like these posts here, they're rotten down there, and all I have to do is snip across the way, all the way. That'll be done super quick. But I hope to use all the wire that I have, the sheep wire and the chain link, just to get down this side. These are the real small offshoots, Tetrapanax papyrifera. It's a couple of freezing nights. I think -3 was the lowest. They're perfectly fine. No problems yet. Hopefully the winter will just keep going the way it is. These are just the native ferns, about 3 feet. There was more here, but they kind of got trampled and dragged about. This Metapanax here, the wire collapsed on it, so the snapping branches. Hopefully it won't do it any harm. It transplanted really well. So you can see the mound of concrete where the wire was put into, under here. Dogs had no hope. Foxes. More ferns. They're actually grown in the cracks of the concrete and the chain link. So that will be the line for marking the dry stone wall. And now I've access to get in at the back of this bed. That's the jungle pathway that comes down just beyond my finger there, just there. Here's one of the tetrapanics, one of the pups that I had taken up, and I planted in here just for the crack. And it actually defoliated during the summer. It was so dry, and I didn't bat an eyelid at it. I didn't care. And now with all the rain and the cool weather, it's after coming back on. So I'm going to stop here at this post here. You can see all the posts are collapsing. This another beautiful fern here. It's got a lovely shape to it. It's got the full 360. And just oak leaves and beech packed into the middle there. That crown is protected, I suppose. More here. So I'm going to try and make sure that these stay here along this, and I can show them off up against the wall. This is looking really good. Whole post is snapped. So two of the transplants I did recently, the Scheffler Delavei, I've since given it a mulch with the compost manure. I'm keeping all that mulch away from the trunk. And the barrel I've topped up with this arrowhead bamboo, and it's going to feed all that and hopefully get lots of, just pack that barrel there with cones. What's he up to? Max is always mystified by any fires. Max? But no setback whatsoever since transplant, or I think some of the plants are actually even looking better now over the last 2 months. In my garden I think the best month is November, because it gets, you start getting showers, temperatures are a little bit cooler, and they're still growing. They look really, really good. But this Scheffler Delavei, I'm in 8B. The winters aren't that hard. Might get a week of bad weather, ice and snow, or a couple of days. But these are so far bulletproof. So as you come up the pathway here, there'll be a dry stone wall, I don't know, 4 feet high, let's say. I hope to get some nice stone. The pathway around the dry bed area, kind of a slate stone. I prefer to get a different stone, and then I can use that slate to just pack in around the top of that dry bed, the arid bed. It gives me a chance now in the springtime to get in and spray or clean out. We got some fruits, berries on the Akuba. This is the Akuba japonica ash mount. Hey, come here. This is Himalaya. Not fruiting anyway. I've taken cuttings from both of them and they still look very good. This is a variegata Fatsia japonica, and when I got it, it was all battered, and you know, it'd been out all winter in the garden centre, and it didn't even look like it had variegation, so I took a chance on it. But one of the toughest plants you can put in to any garden, especially the jungle tropical gardens, the Fatsias. And this one has come back now, starting to throw some fantastic leaves. But this is what Max likes to do. He likes to grab sticks. He drags them out of the fire with his paws, and then he scoops them up. Right, since I've created the space here, I can see that there was actually, because there was a lot of nettles and bramble in this area here. It's actually quite a large area. That's the gunner under there, and I had the Schensbossen and the Mistigeri, the two clumping bamboos that I divided up. A lot of it went into the wood. Ah! Get out of it. But I was hoping to get a large waggy palm, and I've got to put it in behind these two, and I realised that probably a bit short-sighted. I transplanted this. I'm not too sure if this is the Mistigeri or Schensbossen, but I think I can, in the spring, I'll take this out and move it in here to this area, and with this space here in between the two small waggies, I can plant something this size, a waggy palm. So I'm starting to develop this bed in here now. So kind of any excess topsoil or topsoil that I don't need, I'm throwing in here on top of weeds and grass and dead sticks, and I'm starting to add the composted manure now on top. So that's a dwarf bamboo, that's the arrowhead bamboo. They're getting good mulches. So I'm going to build up a nice raised bed here, and what I'm going to be doing is putting in Trachycarpus fortunei in here to fill out this area. It's just a hidden spot behind the shed. Can't really see it, but it's a dead space that could be used for the bamboo and palms. These are some of the palms from those Trachycarpus that I had separated out in the polytunnel there a couple of seasons ago, and they're actually doing, apart from this one, just a single spear coming up, hardly any root, but I'll probably move them across to there. There's 1, 2, 3, 4. Be perfect.